This is Money, Motivation, and Mike, and I am your host, Michael Wainwright. On that end of the table is Jason Wright. And hello to you, world. This is a show that can and will change your life. Jason, it is Super Bowl week, and we're going to spend this week talking about the Super Bowl and all the other things, because when I say Super Bowl week, there are a lot of things that happen before that kickoff on Sunday afternoon. A lot of things. Frankly, starting with Tuesday with Media Day. But nevertheless, before we get into that, weather here in the North Texas area, and frankly throughout the United States, dozens of states have been blanketed with ice and snow. And it has not melted very fast at all, especially in the Oklahoma, Texas area, where you would think it would melt quicker than it would anywhere else, because our climate is typically warms up fast. I mean, we've had, as you know, we have had snow one day and 75-degree weather the next. And the snow was not enough to compile, and the next day's weather, 75-degree sun, melts it all away. But not this time. And here we are over a week in, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And just this morning, shut down 75.
Last 2 days.
Last 2 days, shut down Highway 75, which is from you all over the country. That is a major thoroughfare from Oklahoma and the Red River into downtown Dallas. A very, very highly traveled road. Now, my gripe. Now, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, people in Oklahoma and Texas and in the central United States, as we call it, do not know how to drive in icy conditions. You also got to remember that in this area, we don't have the equipment like you would have in, let's just say, New York City.
Yeah.
They've got 200 snowplows up there.
Mm-hmm.
Those roads are clear before you wake up. And they got the crew, the manpower to go out and do it. Now, we don't have that here. But what we do have is a lot of dummies. And dummies have ruled this part of the country for the last week. Jason, it drives me crazy. Because, you know, you don't have to be a skilled driver to get out and drive on the ice and snow. You've got to have some common sense. And common sense is at the bottom of the barrel. Now, understand, ladies and gentlemen, the viewing and listening audience, in North Texas, when it rains, we have wrecks because Texans can't drive in the rain. Hey, you know, I don't know if you remember this. Troy Aikman couldn't throw a football in the rain. And Texans can't drive in the rain.
We don't know how to handle it.
No, number one, everybody was encouraged to stay home. And I never remember school being out for a complete week.
No, I don't either.
I don't even remember growing up.
In my lifetime.
Yeah. Growing up, that school was out for a complete week. I mean, we've had 100-degree Christmases.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen in this neck of the woods. So school being out could tell you how bad the roads are or were to start with. And now, encouragement for everybody to stay home. But there are still those knuckleheads that have got to get out there in it. And I know some people, or frankly, a lot of people had to go to work. And that's why, you know, a 45-minute jaunt down Highway 75 in the last couple of days has taken 2 hours. 2 hours to go from the Red River to McKinney, Texas.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Right.
Okay.
And especially if you're trying to go through 75 where it's closed. Like basically a standstill for 3 to 4 hours, maybe longer.
Now, here's what I really like. And I was fortunate that I was taken down to the local grocery store parking lot at about age 15 and was shown how to drive in the ice and snow and have been able to do it whenever that particular type of weather shows up in our area over the last 45 years. So, nevertheless, these knuckleheads, and this common sense is what I'm talking about, Jason. Going down an icy hill riding the brake.
Yeah. Don't work.
Does not work. And here's what else it does. You glide down the hill. You glide across bridges. You get your speed built up and you stay in the ruts. Because some of the ruts, it's just like being on a train track. Mm-hmm. Stay in the ruts. It's going to take you where you want to go because everybody else has went the same direction. All right. And then we get down to the bottom of the hill and we're creeping, trying to go back up the hill. And now what are we doing? Spinning because we don't have the momentum to get up the hill. And then the dude in front of you, and I'm going to say 99% of the people that I have seen, men. Women are smart enough not to do it. Men are not. Men got too many egos. Now we don't have any speed to go up the hill, Jason. And what happens? You start spinning.
Yep.
Your car gets out of the ruts. It gets into the soft stuff. And then all of a sudden you're sideways. And what happens with everybody behind you? They have to stop.
Yep.
Stopping on going up a hill. Good grief, people. Incredible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, in fact.
Jeez. Once again, Jason, at age 16 should not be the only time that you have to take a driver's test.
I agree.
I think more and more right now they need to be taking the written common sense test. Nevertheless, it's Super Bowl week, Jason, and it is thawing out. Nowhere at the degree of what we thought. Now, one of the big things that is of major importance during Super Bowl week is the weekend of the AFC NFC Championship games. The 15 finalists for the Hall of Fame are announced. And then the Saturday before the football game, before the Super Bowl, this year's Hall of Fame inductees are announced. That is always a huge thing because we've always got controversy. Why hasn't he been put in? Why did he get put in 10 years ago, et cetera, et cetera. And frankly, in my lifetime, this is a huge story, Jason. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it or hearing about it, but this is the big story that's going to go on for the next 2 weeks. And I guarantee it'll be mentioned on the Super Bowl that day. And the 15 finalists were announced last Sunday, the weekend of the championship games, and Bill Belichick, the longtime coach of the New England Patriots, who, by the way, are in the Super Bowl this year, is not one of the 15 finalists. All right? There's different ways to look at it.
Okay.
Most people, and I'm talking lots of players and coaches, are come out and just talking about the fraudulent event that has taken place. Now, Bill Belichick, he's been to 8 Super Bowls, Jason.
That's probably more than anybody else that's in the league right now.
All right. That's more than anybody in the history of the...
history, okay.
Okay, yeah. We're going into Super Bowl 60, all right? Super Bowl 60. He's been to 8 Super Bowls. As a head coach, he's won 6 of them. Now, let me also say this. I'm not a big Bill Belichick fan. I like the way he coaches because he's no nonsense, and it's my way or the highway, and you either can perform or you're going to sit on the bench. A lot of the things that we don't do down in Dallas Cowboy land anymore. We just go with the flow, whatever happens. All right. He's been to 8 Super Bowls as a head coach. He's won 6 of them. And don't forget, he went to 2 Super Bowls with the New York Giants as the defensive coordinator in the 1986 and 1990. I was about to say the 1980s, but that last one was actually 1990 as Bill Parcells, defensive coordinator.
Okay.
So as of right now, there's been 59 Super Bowls, fixing to be 60. He's participated in 10 of them and did not make the final 15 for this year's Hall of Fame inductees. Yeah.
Don't make no sense.
Well, what it is, and this is the other side to that story. Okay, there's his resume. Nothing else to even talk about. Don't even need to get into anything else. Do you remember Spygate? That's what they called it, Spygate, where the New England Patriots were spying on their opposition.
Okay. To what degree?
Cameras, audio at their practices.
Ah, okay.
He was the instigator behind that.
I see.
Yes. Okay. Then we had Deflategate, where before an AFC championship game, and I believe it was against the Colts. See, this was back before the NFL kept all the footballs in their possession. Okay?
Yeah.
Now you get to have your own ball for kicking and punting. But the actual game ball is now ran by the NFL. Okay? 15 years ago, you had your balls, the other team had their balls. So when it was your time to play, you roll yours in there. And they throw theirs back over to the other sidelines because it's not their time to be on offense. So Deflategate was they let some air out of the footballs. And the story goes that Tom Brady got suspended 4 games for this. That went into the bathroom on the way to the sidelines and deflated the footballs.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I do remember the whole Deflategate.
So
I didn't know that aspect of it.
Yeah. So Spygate, Deflategate, those kind of things are all part of the New England Patriot resume for the bad.
Yeah.
So the only reason he would not be on this finalist list is for cheating. All right. How many baseball players are not in the Hall of Fame right now because of what they call performance enhancing drugs? And the juicing and all that. Even though several of those guys who have not been voted in have never failed a drug test. But the perception. All right? Bill Belichick was actually caught on the carpet here. So that is the reason, in my opinion. Cheating is the reason he is not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Now, it's worth noting there are 2 Dallas Cowboys on that list, Jason. Darren Woodson. Okay, which is leading me into today's story, which is the 10 worst first-time ballot Hall of Fame snubs in the history of the pro football. Darren Woodson is still not in the Hall of Fame. All-time leading tackler of the Dallas Cowboys. 3-time Super Bowl champion. Has been out of the league since 2001. 2002, right in there.
Long time.
Yeah, he's working on 25 years of not being in the league.
Yeah.
And you're eligible after 5 years of non-activity. Still not in the Hall of Fame.
What would you rank him as a safety over history?
Are we talking about for Cowboys or in the NFL?
NFL.
Top 10.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Because he could play safety, which means he could handle the receivers, and he could come up and play the run. He also could get in the slot and cover the third receiver who's going to come out and go all different directions, where your cornerback is kind of holding his receiver out here on the left or the right. Now, they run crossing routes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Woodson could do it all, and he could have put on another 10 pounds and been a linebacker. Yeah. He was that good.
Yeah.
So your tight end, your slot receiver, shut down for 10 years of Darren Woodson football.
Yeah, I remember it.
And like I tell you, he's the all-time leading tackler. He's got more tackles than anybody in the history of the Dallas Cowboy franchise. And how many defensive players right now are Dallas Cowboys that are in the Hall of Fame? Darren Woodson's not one of them. Okay? Now, so he's on the ballot. And I believe this is his year.
Hope so.
All right, there's one other guy that's up for first time ever ballot, Jason. Also by the name of Jason Witten.
Okay.
All right.
Deserving. But I still put Darren above him.
Darren, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I like Jason Witten.
I like Jason Witten too. And to me, Jason Witten has gotten hall passes that Tony Romo has gotten criticism. Best friends. They room together. Remember back in the 07 season, Dallas was number 1 seed. They have the bye week. And for the bye week on the weekend, remember Romo ran down to Cabo and hung out instead of hanging out at the practice facility studying tape. Jason Witten was right beside him. Jason Witten don't ever get any of that criticism. All right? And Jason Witten, definitely a great tight end. But it's hard for me to vote for someone who's never done anything as a teammate on a team that was successful. He could not will them to the victory. And I know he was tight end and you couldn't do, it's not like he's running the quarterback position. Yeah. But his teams never succeeded to the degree that everybody else that comes along in Cowboy Nation has.
Yeah. And speaking of Jason Witten, how would you compare him to Jay Novacek?
He's better than Novacek.
You think so?
Yeah.
And I like Novacek.
And I love Novacek.
Yeah. Novacek a Hall of Famer?
No.
Okay.
He's not. No. He is not even going to ever be in the Ring of Honor.
Really?
But, here's your question. You need 8 yards. Are you throwing it to Novacek or are you throwing it to Witten?
I guess I'm still leaning to Witten as much as I like Novacek.
I'll tell you, I'm throwing it to Novacek.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm telling you I am. Because I know Novacek is going to catch the ball.
Yeah.
He's going to put down his head and he's going to get that yard. And not to say Witten wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I just know Novacek's going to do it.
Seen it enough.
And I'll give you an example. And then we'll move on to the 10 worst snubs in Hall of Fame history of people just like with Bill Belichick that should have been there but was not for whatever reason. But Tony Romo's first ever playoff game, Jason Witten's first ever playoff game in Seattle, 2006. Okay, that was the one. Romo drops the ball for the field goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Right before that, Romo throws it to Jason Witten. Jason Witten misses a first down by inches. He got stood up at the first down marker.
Mm-hmm.
Inches, maybe an inch. Okay, and this is inside the 2-yard line. We get that first down.
4 more downs to get in.
4 more downs to get in, or you run out the clock.
Yeah.
Kick the field goal and win the game. But you get a first down, you're just like what you just said. You got an opportunity to score a touchdown, and then they've got to go score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And so Witten gets that first down, which is what I'm talking about with the Jay Novacek advantage here. Novacek gets that first down. Witten did not get it.
And Jay Novacek, I think it a little, to me, I think in lankier than what Witten. Witten was pretty broad, was he not?
Yeah, he was
versus Novacek. That is,
he was considered a better blocker. Witten was, and I remember Witten with a lot of holding calls and illegal procedure, false starts.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
I mean, it seems like they always come at the most inopportune time. But now you also got to remember, I grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s with those teams. I expect excellence and perfection from what they showered me with through the great glory days. So it's just like, I've got a beef with DeMarcus Ware. All-time sack leader.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Fame. Went to Denver, won a Super Bowl. He got a lot of meaningless sacks with the Dallas Cowboys. That's the way it is.
And I like DeMarcus Ware.
I do too.
Yep.
I love it. And DeMarcus Lawrence, Seattle Seahawks and the Patriots. DeMarcus Lawrence going to the Super Bowl. It's unfortunate these guys have to leave Dallas to go get into the Super Bowl, but it is what they do. All right. So Belichick, even with the Spygate and Deflategate, he's being snubbed. He for sure should be one of the 15 finalists. And it's really, You won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach. Come on. Ridiculous. But anyway, this coming up weekend with the Super Bowl, we'll find out where Darren Woodson and Jason Witten's fate is. I hope both of them get in, just because they're Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Number one reason. So the biggest snubs in the history of the Hall of Fame. And like I say, outside of the game, this is the biggest deal of the week. Marvin Harrison. You familiar with him, Jason?
I know the name. Couldn't tell you
all-time great. He was Peyton Manning's main target for all those years at Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
He's 5th on the all-time list with catches in the history of the NFL.
That's pretty good. I'd say it's pretty deserving.
He's got 1,100 plus. All right. They say number 9, Kevin Green. Disagree all the way. Now, Kevin Green shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. He was a linebacker, defensive end, played for the Steelers, played for the Panthers, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 8 was Dick Night Train Lane. I don't know enough about him to be able to say whether he was snubbed or not, but he was considered a great player for the Detroit Lions. Number 7, Chris Carter. Okay, played for the Eagles and played for the Vikings. And he is 6th on the all-time catch list, right behind Marvin Harrison. Okay, your top 10 all-time stats leader in catches, in receiving, he's got 130 touchdowns, Jason. That ranks in the top 5. I believe it comes in at 4th.
Yeah.
You probably should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Might deserve that gold jacket.
Well, he was on the 1990s All-Decade team.
Yeah.
I mean, the 1990s, you got Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Carter's on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is there to talk about? I mean, over 1,000 yards 8 times, 120 receptions twice. And so led the league in touchdowns 3 times.
Yeah. You're talking about in the 90s, I was playing a lot of football video games, and hey, Chris Carter made the team, my dream team. So, yeah.
There you go.
I thought something of him.
Hey, number 6 here is Joe Gibbs. Now, he was not a first-time Hall of Famer, okay, our first-ballot Hall of Famer. This is why, and he's a Redskin, so, obviously I don't care if he ever were to get in, but here's the deal. He won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks in the span of 10 years. That's tip-top stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't deny that. And he should be in the Hall of Fame.
For sure.
Yeah. Joe Gibbs won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different teams and lost another Super Bowl. So he was there and he did the thing. And anyway. Hey, and number 5 is Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan made a name for himself being on TV every day. And he owned one of those Today shows or whatever it is, Good Morning America, something.
Yeah. I don't know if he's still doing it, but the one with, what was it? It used to be Regis and Kelly.
Yeah, he's on that has to be Fox, right?
I don't even know.
Because he works for Fox Football.
Okay. Yeah, that's
so
right.
It would have to be Fox.
Yeah.
All right. Strahan, yes, I'm with him. I was very happy to see a couple of weeks ago that his sack record went down the tubes.
Oh, no.
Because he was the all-time leading single season sack record, and he shouldn't have gotten that because they're playing the Green Bay Packers late in 2001, and Favre, another fraudulent person, Favre the fraud, Favre runs out and around and goes over there and lays down in front of Strahan. Strahan comes over there and touches him, and they call it a sack because it's behind the line of scrimmage. That's how he became the all-time sack leader.
Gotcha.
And that's the reason Mark Gastineau got in Brett Favre's face. He was the all-time sack leader until 2001.
Yeah, so it was undeserving.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Now, he's got 141 and a half sacks in 15 NFL seasons. That stands on its own. Strahan, good player, a couple Super Bowls. And so he definitely should have probably been a first timer. It's 50-50 on whether he should or shouldn't, but he's got a lot of stats. I just, number one, I don't like him because he's a New York Giant. And number two, he got the Super Bowl. He got the single season sack champion of all time in a fraudulent way. Hey, number 4 here. Fran Tarkenton. You know him, Jason?
I do not know him.
Fran Tarkenton, Minnesota Viking. Definitely another guy that, in my opinion, probably should have been a first-time Hall of Famer. He's he's quarterbacked all those 1970s Minnesota Viking teams that went to the Super Bowl. See, in the 1970s, Cowboys went to 5 Super Bowls. The Vikings went to 4 Super Bowls. Same division, same conference. Tarkenton quarterbacked those teams. So he went to as many Super Bowls as did Roger Staubach.
Okay.
So Roger went to 5, but he was not the quarterback of the first one. So Fran went to as many Super Bowls as did Roger as the starting quarterback. Got snubbed first go round. Okay, here's another big snub, Bill Walsh. He took the 49ers from doormats and turned them into what they were, as you know. And definitely should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. No doubt about it. Now, I know he had Joe Montana, but Bill Belichick had Tom Brady as well, et cetera, et cetera.
Was he was 80s or 90s?
Well, he was 80s. He got the job in 79.
Okay. Drafts
Joe Montana.
Gotcha.
In the 3rd round.
Deserve a gold jacket just for that.
That's right. And takes the 49ers to the 81 Super Bowl 3 years later and beat our Dallas Cowboys in what's called the 1981 The Catch.
Yes, I know. Another one
you
speak of.
The only game, Jason, the only game that I ever teared up. 7th grade.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle it.
I understand.
We were there. We had it.
Yeah.
On our way. And they go on, beat the Bengals in that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes. So Bill Walsh, absolutely. And the only reason he didn't win more Super Bowls is because he retired. Yeah. There you go. Here you go, Big Daddy. Number 2, Terrell Owens.
Controversial
Terrell.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that? I'm going to let you speak first because you know a lot about him.
Great wide receiver. Just if you can manage him.
Okay. But we ain't talking about his off-the-field antics.
Well, is it his off-the-field antics that kept him from being on the first ballot?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
As
a matter of fact, he was the biggest snub until this week's Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Which is why this is big news. Terrell Owens is the 2nd all-time leader in most receiving categories behind only Jerry Rice. Yes. Absolutely. You go if Jason Witten gets voted in this week and you didn't put Terrell Owens in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know, hey, when they inducted him, he didn't show up.
Really? Typical TO.
Exactly. He had his own ceremony at his college.
Okay. It's the way he rolls.
And I know that he was definitely a menace. And I personally think that he put Bill Parcells into retirement with the Cowboys.
Second retirement?
Well, Parcells didn't really retire.
Did he not?
No.
He didn't take a year off?
Well, he did take some years off, but he didn't say I'm done.
I see. Just waiting for the right opportunity. I got you.
Yeah. So, I mean, he basically turned the Patriots over, or actually he was turning the Jets over to Bill Belichick, by the way. Mm-hmm. Bill Belichick signed that contract and snubbed them and went to the Patriots. Bill Belichick was the coach of the New York Jets for about 36 hours.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, the one we've been talking about, Bill Belichick. This is big news, Jason. Big enough for it to be on Money, Motivation, and Mike. And there you go. I hope that the Super Bowl turns out to be a great game. And we have a whole lot of them over the last 20 years that were not great games. I'm going to get to my pick on the next episode.
Okay.
All right. You can always find us, mx3.vip, and on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/MX3 Podcast. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. I have been watching quite a bit of YouTube videos, and the moderators of all these YouTube videos go down and give us comments. Go down and give us comments. Ladies and gentlemen, go down and give us comments. Our subscribers is at an all-time high. Our watch hours is at an all-time high, Jason.
Yeah, tell us who you think what your number one pick is as far as being snubbed.
They'll probably come back with some guys that aren't even on the list, and that'd be fine too.
Let's hear about it.
So for this episode of Money, Motivation, and Mike, continue to live your life the right way.